what am I supposed to do if not murder daughters? What am I supposed to do if not murder daughters? Come on! Hi, friends! How's it going? How are we doing? Ferdy, Travis, potential lurkers, how are ya? But hugs are so boring! Also, it's true! Look! Hey, Louie. Glowbush over here's got an idea. They know what's up. How are you doing today, Louie? How's it going? Oh, almost spilling on myself. Play with us, Travis. I need to add you. I haven't been on this morning yet. It's not Dota. It is arguably better than Dota, and it's better because we're playing with buddies. It's Smiley in the gang. It's not the same exact game, Fruity. It is Monday. I'm glad it's alright, even though it's Monday. I'm doing pretty alright. I'm a little tired. Ready for the week to be done already. But you know, it's fine. Fruity, here's the thing though. I know you hate Dota, and I know you hate League, but listen, I'm not gonna abandon you like P2 did. I'm not gonna get sucked in like P2 has with Dota. I'm pretty sure P2 is Dota now. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same. Hear me out. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Look, you tell me you're free to do some video games, I will put League down immediately to come do video games with you. Don't worry. No, we were never gonna... You convinced yourself we were gonna be an oops-only stream. I'm sorry. We're not... I will never stream League on my channel, okay? You don't gotta worry about that. No fears. It's fine. Can we have cats-only daughters and do a Palico run? It's the only way you would ever get me to play Monster Hunter? That's that game, right? The only way you would get me to get anywhere close to that game is if we just made cat daughters. But hey friends, welcome. It's Monday morning. I am only partially awake. I don't know what I'm doing, or what's happening, or what we're gonna do. Fruity doesn't want me to do a murder today, and that's upsetting, honestly. Do it! Get a third cup! What's stopping you except for you? I kind of wish I had coffee this morning. Not even to, like, wake up, but just to have. It sounds really nice right now, even with my monstrous order. Hey, who needs hearts? Am I right? No, you should please don't explode your heart. Please do not do the blowy up thing with that vital organ you got. What is on my chair? Alright. Well, hey, I have filled up my cup with coffee, or not coffee. It's not coffee, it's soda. I have a soda this morning. I have filled my mug up too much. It's gonna spill. It's gonna be fine. Explodent! please explodent! Right? Please morning responsibly. My brain is not super here right now, and that's fine. We don't have to think very much for my lovely daughter, which is wonderful. I'm gonna turn Spotify off, and I am gonna move over to the game. Now. We're gonna move over here now. Okay. But yeah. Glad to see y'all here. Happy to have ya. Shall we I would say do a daughter murder, but Fruity's gonna say no to that. But I don't know that I can not do a murder. I think we gotta. Hear me out. I think we gotta. Also hear me out. The sooner we bring our daughter back to life, the sooner we can check out Witchwood. Hello, Daddy. I know that you think of all your daughters as little girls, but some of us are growing up faster than you realize. As a single father, it may be difficult to notice the changes, but I am already more mature than my sisters. You should treat me differently. Start the morning off fresh and clear out their rooms. I mean, we might have to. Look, our little Pogchamp is already a level 7. She's ripe for the picking. Same with Nina. Hello, old man. When I am at home, I am never hungry, but when I am in the village surrounded by people, I become so hungry. Do not like the smell of their food, but they smell so good. It's becoming hard to concentrate at work. Sounds like we gotta get rid of Nina. Dumpy Dump is over here at level 3. Not Dumpy Dump. I'm grateful to be your girl, but I worry that I will not be as good as you expect. It is a challenge for me to even go out because I must defend myself from the carnivores that try to eat me. But I will try my best to help you. Thanks, Dumpy Dump. Shampoo is that cranberry sauce. This is Finn. Says, I felt happy when you said that I am a graceful creature. You said that I reminded you of a beautiful flower from the garden where you used to play with your daughter. Every night, I wish that I could be your daughter too. This is Finn. This is Finn. Hello? Hello, Faust. Do not mess it up this time. I have no time for small talk today, so I will make it quick. The gardener will have trouble with crows. Be ready with a homunculus that can scare those blackbirds away. We gotta make a crow daughter. And their name is gonna be Thomas, because that's the next name that we've got. 2 clay in a wood. What do you mean there's no room? Hold on a second. What do you... I thought we had room. Hattress is here. Okay. Well, Hattress can stay. This is Finn is level 9. We're already gonna do a murder. I'm sorry, Fruity. I know that we... I know that you said you didn't want us to, but we have to. I'm sorry. I won't kill Hattress, though. Consider Hattress will be fine. Also, Luna, hi. Thank you for the bubble, friend. How's it going, buddy? How are you doing? I'll just go ahead and fill all these up. Because why not? Our daughters are doing alright. We're definitely gonna do a murder on a couple of them. I think Pogchamp and Nina gotta go. Fruity wants us to not do a murder, but I think we gotta. Goodbye, Nina. It was nice knowing you. Alright. Plus, look, this gets us well on our way to being able to bring back our daughter, our actual daughter. They're all our actual daughters, let's be real. They're all perfect and wonderful. That takes joy up a lot. It's but the price we must pay. If that's how it has to be, Fruity, I'm sorry. Ah! Okay, joy is where it needs to be. Sadness needs to be at 485, 372, 397. What do we have at the moment? 335 for anger. We need a little bit more anger, and we need more fear, and we need more sadness in our daughter. But she's real dang joyful. She's super joyful. That's exciting. We do need to make a scarecrow, though, for the Inquisitor. So let's... 2 clay, 1 wood. One wood. One wood. Let's do mid-quality wood. We got lots of regular clay just sitting around. Let's do that. This is fine. It's fine. It's Thomas! That's the end of the list of names that I currently have. So if people have names, get that redeem going. Just saying. We have a sad and a fearful. We need a joy and an anger. Okay, we can do that. Dislike. Thank you, Allie. Oop. How's it going, friend? How are you doing? Disliked and unsubbed. Fantastic. You love to see it. I said joy and anger, right? Oh, Allie! Do what you can to I don't know, not cry. But also, I get it. I hope you're doing okay. I love you. You're wonderful. Reported. Alright. Okay. Okay, fine. I hope everyone ends up having an okay day. If not, I'm gonna come over there and beat up the day for you. I miss meat. Titanium daughter? Should we make a titanium daughter? 2 metal and a all the love and hugs to you. I hope the day gets better. I mean, Mondays are hard enough as it is. We don't need... Was it a clay? Sorry, what? 2 meat. 2 metal and a meat. Sorry. No, but seriously, I hope it gets better, or at least doesn't get any more difficult. I'm sorry that it's so dumb right now. I love you, you're fantastic. You kick ass. Do something nice for yourself later. Yeah, 9. 9 is the character limit. Disliked. Yeah. And then we need to make an angry daughter. Gotta make that angry daughter. Who do we got? Who haven't we made in a while? Not Cho'Gath. Alright. Okay. Alright, I get it. Let's make the flame one. 2 meats and a metal? Let's go. 2 meats. And a metal. Let's go. That's gonna be unsubbed. Not John McCain. That's too many, isn't it? That's one too many. Can we not do league names? I can do John McCain with no spaces. That will bring us great joy. Alawi has been added. Do you want me to drop a C or just get rid of the space? Can't read how I spelled Alawi, so I'm gonna write that down again. Whichever feels right. We'll type them both up, see which we prefer. This is unsubbed, right? There we go. If you think that naming these daughters after characters that I like is gonna make me upset or keep me from killing them, you're incorrect. You clearly do not know me well enough. Okay, that's all the daughters we can have for now. I should probably make sure everyone's happy. Give her some treats. There's no sons here, I'm sorry. Only daughters. Also no non-binary kids either. I'm sorry. Just wanted the pretty daughters to have a pretty name. That's fair. You know what, Luna? That's fair, because same. Also, hi, Arcade. There are... So I think these devs are making another game called My Lovely Wife. And I'm assuming it follows the same premise, only we just keep making wives and doing murders on them. Ellen, I have to add that there as well. Okay. I'm already running out of space on this page. That's a problem. Oh my... Chocolate. You need chocolate. Chocolate! Could be both. Why not both? Also, Luna, go to sleep. Do a sleep? I think you need to do a sleep. Hey, friend. Consider. Sleep? You can sleep while you work, right? No, I think you can. Actually. Hear me out. Consider. No, I would not encourage you to be irresponsible, but at the same time. Let's start the work week. Let's go. This is what I need. Great. Excellent. Fantastic. Look at all this money. The empty store is starting to get to me. I'm making these toys as part of my redemption. Regardless, people think that I have ulterior motives, but I do not think keeping the store open is pointless. I'll just take orders and send out the toys instead. I do not mind if you do not open your store, but I am sure that you will still need my homunculi to help with your work. Hattress can go there, that's fine. You need a scarecrow. Thomas, get in there. Get in there, Thomas. Mid-quality clay, we can do that. I don't have a sad lady available at the moment. Our fearful one is not available at the moment. Disliked can go work here, though. Mid-quality, high quality, I think we've got that. Let's get unsubbed in there. Oh, I do have a fearful. Alright, Dumpy Dump. Do your thing. These names. I'm telling ya. Can we get 5 of each of these? Is that... Toy made of a straight stick with a handmade horse head attached to its end. Special gifts? Why is there so much that I can purchase? Cool. Okay. I want to know what those do, though. Yeah, go for it, Hattress. You work where you want to work. Mid-quality wood, we got that. Oh my goodness. Everyone is busy doing their thing. Oh. Oh. Dumpy Dump, get in there. Gifts just help your daughters to see past the monster you are. I mean, yes, but they're special gifts. I want to know what they do. Like, we've got regular gifts that we can give. Get in there, Disliked. That, like, boost their affinity. Like, candies for happy ones, and almonds are for fearful ones. But this one just says special gift. And doesn't have, like, any indication of who those go to. I'm gonna buy them. We're gonna buy it. I wonder if those just boost the stats, like, significantly. Huh. Get Get in there, Hattress. Just curious is all. That's... You know what? We got enough money for this one as well. Let's buy it. Thanks, Faust. It's a shame that I had to have those crows destroy some of her garden. Like her, I also love Mother Nature. She's so sweet. She kept her late husband's gift as a memento of her past. Such a sweetheart cannot be a threat to the capital. I do not need to investigate her further. We only have 2 more people to investigate, don't we? As I'm thinking about it. Because I think we were pretty close to being done last time. We have letters from our daughters. What do you got? What do you want? Thank you for treating me with care. It seems that all sorts of bugs want to live in my body. To make matters worse, I can understand them and they never stop talking. I hope you do not hate me for all of this. No, you're perfect, Thomas. You said that you were going to be, or you said that we were going to be together, but you were always busy in the forbidden room. You never allow me to get inside. Feel that you're never there for me. If this continues, I might as well run away from this empty house. You're fairly affectionate, though, Hattress. I need more high-quality water. I want to sprinkle it during my devotional prayers. Please spare me some of yours. Yeah, I guess. Be free, Hattress. Can't run away. Not allowed. Heard from my sister that some villagers are scary, but no one bothers me. I walked through the slums today to prove to her that they are not scary. I heard some people there complaining about exile. What is exile, old man? Good Hattress emote. For the moment I was born into this world, I felt that I was not a part of it. I feel that I belong to somewhere else. I thank you for bringing me here, but perhaps there's a way to send me back to my real home? Well, isn't the crown, like, the hardest to match up? Hold on. You're level 3. You're level 5. You're level 5. You're level 6. Hattress is getting there. Thomas is level 8. Sorry, Thomas. You gotta go. Rip, Thomas. Okay. Cannot believe we are all done in this city. It is finally time to go back and report my findings in the Saylock. So, you will help me now? As I promised, it is time for me to help you. I have some guesses as to what your memento is. Let me try touching some of them to see if I am correct. It was very fast for Thomas. Thomas, like, not our boy Thomas. Our sweet, sweet, optimistic boy. He was high enough level. I have to get rid of him once they're at least over level 7. I'm sorry. Okay. What are you touching? The Inquisitor starts to explore Faust's house. He examines each item that he suspects might be Faust's memento. The journal, the soul chamber, even Arya's painting, but nothing seems to trigger him. Wow, we're getting rid of all of them. Finally, the Inquisitor concludes that nothing in the house will help him. He tells Faust that it is time for him to go, and that he will be back after he finishes his report. Faust begs him to stay longer, begs his help to remember. Unmoved, the Inquisitor starts for the door. On his way, he passes by Arya and bids farewell to her cold body, promising her that he will return. In parting, he touches her head. A sudden burst of memories flows into him. The Inquisitor looks terribly unsettled, as if he was suddenly gone mad. He attacks Faust, yelling, "I have to stop it! I have to stop you!" Faust fights back and breaks away, but the Inquisitor catches and tackles him to the ground. This is extremely dramatic. In a flash, the Inquisitor unsheaths his knife, ready to kill Faust. Oh, fuck! But the homunculi have heard the ruckus and come running. Their appearance distracts the Inquisitor, and Faust takes the chance to wrest away the knife and swiftly stab it into the Inquisitor's heart. Although still shocked, Faust knows he must move fast. He buries the Inquisitor's body in the forest, wondering all the while what could have made the Inquisitor turn on him so suddenly. We killed our daughter. We are the reason she's dead. 100%. Later that night, a mysterious yet somehow familiar figure digs up the Inquisitor's grave, muttering, "Everything is as my old friend planned. I will take care of this body and await his return." That's the merchant lady. Also, hey Nem, how's it going? I'm sorry, Fruity. I'm sorry. We gotta, though. Okay, well, that was... Rip Inquisitor. I did get an achievement for that. Prelude to an End? Is that, like... Well, I'm curious. Is that, like, the end of the Inquisitor DLC? It can't be. Yeah, sorry about that, Nem. Don't worry about it. As long as you don't touch my daughter, I won't have to do a stab on you. It's true, man's not in hole anymore. Merchant lady came by and was like, out we go. So that's a thing. Fear's at 390. How high does it have to be? Just a little higher. How's it going though, friend? How are you doing? I didn't, well, okay, I can't say that I didn't do it, because I do love the merchant lady and how weird and wild she is. It was merchant lady. I'll make the rules, she did it. I do need to treat the body. Okay. It was 100% the merchant lady. You can't be mad at me about this. I've done nothing. We don't need to do anything for the Inquisitor at the moment, do we? Have we still need to figure out what the last homunculus is? And I'm pretty sure it's one of the despair ones, but I don't know how else to make a despair homunculus. We've got, well, I say despair, they're all different, but like the failure ones, we've got despair, we've got enmity and loss. No, I don't think I want to have an original thought just yet. If you know what I mean. I just need to find like the right combination of base ingredients. We might just... Hold on. We have enough... We don't have a ton of meat. That's a bit of an issue. Maybe next time we'll... No, we can try. Let's do this real fast. I'm not gonna name these any of the names that we have. Because there's no point to it. First off, what are the combinations that we can have? Meat, wood, clay, which I think is the first one that we did. Yeah. We could do meat, wood, clay. We could do wood, clay, metal. Oh, I should try all the meat combinations first, shouldn't I? No, Faust, I do know. Sure, we're gonna do a murder on her immediately. So it doesn't matter. Look, we can just do a killing constantly. This is fine. Sounds good, Arcade. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. It's always delightful to see you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. We did meat, wood, clay. Let's do wood, clay, metal? We did it! We've done it. We made her. It's fine. Great. We are gonna do a murder on her, though, as well. Hence not naming her. But we've done it, and I got the achievement. We have made every single homunculus that there is. Go team! Okay. Well, what do we want to make now, though? I don't think I have any more meat, or if I do, I have very little meat. Could probably do another joyful. Oh. No, let's make a sad. 2 metals and a water. Because we didn't really use that one last time. 2 metal and a water. Water, water, water. Cool. Great. Fantastic. This is reported. Great. Reported just lives in there now. Let's go ahead and fill these totems back up. Might as well. We've got plenty of offerings. Get your goop on. Go goop your hands. We'll be here if you come back, Travis. Sadness. It's good. Okay, it's a good thing that we made an extra sad one. Because we did need to boost up our sadness, and it's gonna require a lot. Great, look at all that gold. New interaction! Only you, Faust. You are the only one who wants to deal with me. Your homunculi have been helping me work. That is the reason I gave you that doll that you asked for free. I'll help you with whatever you need. Good to hear that. My homunculi will always be ready to help you. Yeah, go work there. That's fine. Go on, Dumpy Dump. Mid-quality for everything. Yeah, let's go. Sadness. Sadness. Great. I guess at this point, oh, I didn't try to... She keeps offering, like, new special gifts every day. It's a little odd. I forgot to use it, though. Hopefully we'll remember next time. We like to keep 8 of everything on us at any given time. We have plenty of that. We'll do another one of those, and then we just won't buy anything anymore today. Sound like a plan? Oof. Fearful. Get in there, Dumpy Dump. Do the thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and take in another quest. Is this sadness? Yeah. And joy. And I don't have a fearful available, so we won't do that. Sure. Go do your thing, Hattress. I'm at the point where it's like we just need to bring back Arya at this point, right? Like, we don't need to really do anything else. Because I guess we've, like, finished the Inquisitor stuff. And we found all the homunculi. So... We finished the Inquisitor. He's done! Dunzo! Out of here! I guess... Yeah, at this point it is just... Unfortunately, sacrifice enough daughters. Faust rests for a while. He tries to remember all the moments that he's forgotten. His wife's sickness, his meeting with the Master Warlock, and his first transmutation of a homunculus. How do they all relate to one another? As he begins to grasp a connection between these events, the book glows intensely, calls to him. It desires him to read. Even before Faust reaches the book, his memories have already begun to flow. Memories about the pledge he made to the Master Warlock, the pledge that would change his life forever. My potion business is not working. People in this blasted village prefer going to shamans and dark alchemists to buying my potions. What a bunch of fools. How can they entrust their health to dark magic and dirty ingredients? This place is wretched. I have to find another strategy. Thankfully, my wife seems to have come to an understanding with our condition. It is only my little girl who still cannot accept her situation. Hang in there, child. I will fight this life for you. I'm not gonna do... Look, just because I've gone a little murder happy doesn't mean any of my friends are in danger. Come on. Those black-hearted shamans heartlessly turned down my pleas. No wonder they were expelled from the capital. My wife's condition has worsened and the illness has only spread to my daughter. I'm broke, penniless, and totally in hell. Is this the end of our lives? Alright, okay, I see how it is. I made a pact with the Master Warlock. He promised to share his knowledge, skills, and recipes with me for the price of my own blood, which he will take after my life here is settled. I suspect that he is up to something terrible, but I'm in no position to question his motives. Okay, the Warlock killed your daughter. I see, I understand. We will meet again tomorrow to begin my lessons in witchcraft. The homunculus business is doing great. It is much better than selling potions. The money I have gathered is just enough to purchase ingredients to make healing potions for my wife and daughter. It has crossed my mind to ask for the Master Warlock's help, but relying on such dark power when their lives are at stake seems a dangerous idea. We are still missing a page here. It has been exhausting watching over my wife every hour of the day. I wish that the homunculi could take good care of her, and thought, why not? So I went to meet the Master Warlock once more, and he taught me a method to make bigger and smarter homunculi. Wonderful. Now my homunculi can nurture her while I continue my research on medicinal potions. Yesterday, my wife said something about how weak she felt and how I should be more caring toward our little girl. I told her not to force herself and that she needed more rest. So she rested her head on my shoulder, but she never woke up. Death took her away as she put on her last smile in my embrace. Only my daughter stands between me and my desire to end this miserable life. Goodness gracious, my dude. It has been a long time since I last wrote something here. I have decided to move on from my old life and now begin anew. So I built a new house for us up on the hill. It is quite far from the slums where we lived before. Since that time, my daughter is fully recovered and is even livelier than she ever was. Life is finally looking up for us. I'm planning to reopen my homunculi business here. Hopefully everything will go well this time. Little did he know it would not! Life would be so much better with my wife here. It is so lonely with only the two of us. People from the village seldom visit or ask for help anymore. With plenty of time on my hands, I decided to play around with the homunculus transmutation process. My results are almost unbelievable. The living homunculi not only have humanoid shapes, but they also have emotions. What a monumental breakthrough. This is far beyond my expectations. People from the village queue up every morning in front of my house just to hire a homunculus to help them. Thankfully, my lovely daughter is more than happy to help me with my work. She is so cute. With life as good as this, I finally feel that my past is behind us. This page looks like it's in all caps. That's not great. Oh! Get her back, get her back, get her back. It's all my fault, it's all my fault, it's all my fault. Liar, 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 liar. And it just continues on that way. Wowee! Sir. Yeah, you can have some. That's fine. Oh, I should probably do these requests, shouldn't I? You think we're gonna get this done this week? 760. I know I can just keep coming over here, but I am gonna write these down so that I can just see them. Joy needs to be between 708 and 768. Sadness, 485 to 785. Anger, 372 to 672. And fear is 397 to 697. Great. Hold on. I'm trying to like set that in a semi-intelligent place. Okay. Who do we have? Which homunculi can we do a hit on? What does Dumpy Dump have to say? Tried making mean faces. I also tried scaring them off with weapons, but it did not help. They would not leave. Finally found a solution though. Now I always bring a piece of meat with me. Throw it to the animals and run while they are eating. Great job, Dumpy Dump. Dumpy Dump is level 7. Disliked is also level 7. Unsubbed is level 6. Hattress is level 7. Reported is level 3. We have one more week, don't we? What are we currently at? 760. Joy is fine. We need sadness, though. Anger. We need a little more of that. And we need some more fear. We should be fine if we do a murder on everyone next week. Woof. Okay, that's all the requests. Great. It's raining. That's neat. Wait, is this what you want? Yeah. Anger. Get in there, unsubbed. I just wanna know what happens when we bring Arya back properly. Like, for real this time. It's true. It's true. What if we just admit to all the crimes we've committed? Let's go. This seems fine, and normal, and acceptable. Okay, what do we got? Fearful, Dumpy Dump, get in there. Sadness, get in there. Get reported in there. Hey Octo, how's it going? How are you doing? How are things? And disliked can work. Great! Perfect. Wonderful. 10 out of 10. Oh, I should probably do a purchase. Can we... Let's buy 10 of everything. Oh, you got a booster. Props to you for doing that. Thank you for being a responsible person and giving a shit about other people. Try and take it easy. Drink some water. Eat some food. Get a lot of rest. Take care of yourself. Hopefully it passes soon. Right, that's what I've been hearing. Thank you to everyone in chat who has either gotten their vaccination and or booster or has it scheduled. I'm getting my booster at the end of the week and I'm very excited about it, but also concerned that I will just be out for a couple of days. But it's gonna be fine. Gotta do it. Gotta make it happen. Shot 3 wasn't as bad as Shot 2, but it was still not fun. Woof. Woof. But you've done it, and that means a lot. Good on y'all for being responsible, honestly. Joy and sadness is what I have. Okay. Changed back into cozy jammies after dropping off the kids. Good! Good. Get comfortable, try and take it easy, don't overwork yourself today. Be comfy. Good. Good. It is week 4. During his experiment, a memory flashes into his mind. Hurriedly, he halts what he's doing and focuses on remembering. Another memory of him interacting with the Master Warlock begins to resurface. He remembers bringing his sick wife to the Master Warlock. Can I read about it? Welcome. It's a reading-only stream today, it seems like. Reading and murder only. In desperation, I brought my wife and daughter to the Master Warlock. He told me that my wife's soul had become faint, and that she was bound to die soon. What was he thinking, blurting jinxes in front of her face like that? After saying this, he insisted on helping me cure my daughter's illness. He gave me a handful of suspicious-looking powder and told me to make potions with it, which must be drunk regularly. For now, I can only hope for the best for both of them. Yeah, cozy reading and murder stream. It's what we all love and like here, right? That one is still not back. That's the last memoir, though? The others have all been revealed. Exciting. Okay, let's do our requests. I don't have any mid-quality iron on me at the moment. That's fine. We should be getting some here in a minute. What do you want? I have a big favor. Your homunculus will make the perfect sacrifice. I will give you anything for it to become the tool of my ascension. Disliked is joy, which we're fine on. Give me that. Give me all that. Wow, you are very loud. It's fine. We're just selling homunculi and also doing a murder on them. Hold on, let me double check. Can everyone stop showing up? Yeah, go for it, I guess. Take the wood. This is fine. Can y'all not for a minute? That's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at this. Joy is where it needs to be. I'm gonna mark that off. Sadness needs to happen. We need a little bit of anger and a little bit of fear. Okay. Consider play both? Play both at the same time. Okay. Unsubbed has to go because they are level 8. Aww. Bye, unsubbed. What are you at now? You will not tell me. Oh, I think it just popped up with it. Fear needs to happen. And Dumpy Dump is level 9. Goodbye. Goodbye, Dumpy Dump. You were great while you lasted. Okay, what are you at? That is way too high. We're gonna need to bring fear down a little bit. 725 for anger. Anger also needs to come down. Okay. And then it's just the sad ones. Hold on. How much can we sacrifice you? How much do you give us? We need at least 485. She only gave us 300. Hattress does have to go. I tried to make sure that we didn't have to do a hit on Hattress, but we did. Apologies. Okay, let's do this. Joy is fine. Joy is where it needs to be. Sadness is in range, and it is lower than joy. Anger needs to be lowered, so let's put some chocolate in here to bring it down by 100. That's 625. That's 690. Great. Fear needs to be down a lot, so let's burn some almonds. Let's do that. 615, 625. I'm afraid that these are too similar. We have a lot of wiggle room with fear. 515, that's in range. Anger is 625, that's fine. Sadness is 690, that's fine. And joy is 760, that's fine. Let's do this. Yes. Murdery Mario? Do it. Do it. Make it happen. The options are endless and numerous to satisfy the murdery rage. Not rage. It's not rage, but the need. The murdery need. The girl is alive and well, however, it seems that her mind is divided in several consciousnesses, all of which vie for control. She constantly appears to be art. But we've done this! But... oh, book says that I have to infuse the soul with one dominant affinity. I did! I am upset. Still don't have any iron. Okay. I don't know. Look, we went through and we made sure there was a difference between all of them and that there was one that was dominant. So that's a little obnoxious. These are all the same still, right? Okay. All of the rooms are empty. Let's go ahead and do all this so that we get the most boosts out of everything. We can make sure that everyone levels quickly. Buttholes. Let's do a couple of joyfuls. One metal, 2 water. Look, we got a lot of mid-quality water. Oh, neat. Did I say a metal and a water? Yeah, okay. It's more novelty than quality. I can dig that. Oh, wait. Okay, we did reported. This is Cho'Gath. Cause why not? Confirm. Alright, we got a joyful lady. This is great. Not this one. Let's do a fearful. This is the wrong one. Fearful. Do we have one that's kind of melty? Or wrinkly? I guess I could make an angry one. Look, I didn't think this was gonna be for no reason this time. We wasted all of our time and all of our daughters on this last one. Let's make a zombie. 2 clay and a meat. I tried. Alright. 2 clay and a meat. Thank you, Dan, for the hydrate. I got some vitamin water today. It's great. Not lobster, man. Fruity. Fruity, listen here. I'm sorry. Oh, there goes my pencil. It's... Did I miscount? John and Kane. I did miscount. Okay. Hold on a second. Ugh. John M. Kane. It happens. Don't worry about it. Okay, who else? That's an angry and a joyful. keep clicking on the wrong tab. Let's make a rodent. A wood and 2 meat. Wood and 2 meat. Super Mario XP. Well, there you go. This is Alawi. And what is that? Happy, angry, sad, a fearful, and maybe another joyful? Fearful. Let's do a tentacle. Meat and 2 water. This is a little rough trying to make daughters. 2 meats and a water. When we have, like, none. Just have to fill up all of the rooms. I did that wrong. Oh well. She's the kind that I needed. This is Starbuck. Hello, Starbuck. Yeah. Fearful, sad, angry, happy. Let's make a second happy. Right? Because that's the one that we need the most of. Let's make a bug. 2 wood and a water. There's the water. There's the 2 wood. Great. Great, you love to see it. And that is Ellen. Fantastic. Can we... I want to know what these do. Have I purchased a second one of any of these? Containing popular tales of the unknown. Puzzle consisting of small irregular pieces that are to be fit together. Automatic musical instrument that produces strains of sound. Stick horse. Can I just give you this? Wow, she didn't like it. Wow, she didn't like it. What a... Come on. Okay, this is fine. She's angry. So we'll give her some chocolate. You're sad, so you get some ice cream. Oh boy. You get some almonds. And you get some candy. You know what, can we... What happens if we fill up their happiness gauge, like, all the way? I'm gonna try. What does this do? I think that just keeps them from running away for a while, which is fine. What do you need? You're angry. You get chocolates. You're sad. So have some ice cream. Oh boy. Get some roasted almonds, and you are fine where you are. Those are all the way full. Great. Let's go ahead and do some work. I'm really annoyed that that last bit didn't, like, work at all. Greetings, Faust. Do come by my shop. I have something new that might interest you. What you got? Ma'am? You don't have anything new. Hey, consider you don't have anything new. We have a shit ton of money. This is great. Oh, I love this. Okay. Did we... Which voice? Which one? Which one do you want, Fruity? Hold on, it's loading. It's updating, apparently. Voice mod, please. The singing one under the newest wave? Is it Bowtie Billy? Billy Bowtie? Hold on. Voice mod decided it needed to update right now. Without asking me. One word title. Hold on, let me see what we got. Is it Cali Tune? Or is it Trap Tune? Very disco. Those all sound... Here, we can play some of them. Hopefully that's trying the sounds. This one's Cali Tune. This one is Trap Tune. And this one is very disco. I don't know if any of these are the right ones. Otherwise, I've got Bonnie. This one is Bonnie. I'm just gonna keep talking so you can get a feel for what it is. And then this one is Evolver. This one's called Evolver. This might be it. Mayhaps. Evolver was the one. Okay, we can do that. We can do this. Oh, I love the sniffles. Does it do weird stuff? Oh no. But can you understand it? No, hold on. No, if it's Lobster Man. Is it understandable? That's what I want to know. How practical it would be to run speech to text, back to speech, by way of void. That sounds like it would be horrible. Honestly. Okay, as long as you can understand what's being said, I don't want these to be not great. Because I have captions on, but they're rough sometimes. And so I just want to make sure that you can understand me. I'm trying to find a better caption program, but... Excuse me. How horrible was that? Oh boy. Okay, well... Your 5 minutes has officially started. Not a music sting. Oh boy, okay. Can we... Not me dying already. Get to 10. This one sounds like a musical instrument given voice during an after-school special. Oh god. Oh god. Why though? What would Lobster Man sneezing sound like though?
know. The world will never know. That's forbidden knowledge. That's not allowed to exist. I'm sorry. Denied. Oof. Okay, what do we got? What do I need to do? Sadness. Get in there. We only have the one sadness. Fantastic. You love to see it. Not an echo. Well, this is what you get. You get it for another 3.5 minutes. I hope you're happy with the choices that you have made today. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. Beautiful. Great. You love to see it. Get that mid-quality bean in there. Let's go. I just want... I don't know how much of a difference there has to be with these affinities to have one be considered like the dominant one, but it does kind of annoy me that it didn't work this last time. I specifically went through to try and make sure that they were all like different. But no, not allowed. Not allowed. Okay. Can we be done? Can we be done? I would say that Hatchers had to go, but at this point I don't know that Hatchers had to go. I don't know that any of them did. It's just, I'm sorry. I did try to put in the effort to not have to kill Hattress. I think we just need to narrow the range on the one, because it's 400 to 700. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But to do that, I have to, like, get them all, like, within range, but make sure that there's still one that's higher than the others, you know? No, we'll mess around with it and see what we can figure out. Because I'm a little lost. Oh, sniffles. Okay, let's see. After all he has been through, Faust finally remembers everything he had forgotten. I just got the achievement, Clear Memory. Hi. Thank you. Oh. Voice mod is getting laughs. What are you doing? Hi. It's a good thing for you. I laugh a lot and also have no idea what I'm saying half the time, so I have to pause and go, memories flood his mind. Glimpses of his past flash in and out, revealing the answers he has been searching for all along. His arrival in this village, his sick wife, his meeting with the Master Warlock, his wife's funeral, his homunculi. High five! Everything is crystal clear. And most importantly, he remembers who took his daughter. What does it say? What does it say? What's it say? What's it say? This is nonsense. He said it was my blood that he wanted. I've been tricked. I cannot accept this. Why did you take her soul? It was supposed to have been mine. Everything that I had done was for her. Why did he not just leave us alone? Why did he do this to me? Just let me die. Bring my daughter back. She does not deserve this. It was my fault. Hey, guess what? Your 5 minutes is up. All done. Say goodbye to Revolver.
Thank you, Devo. Alright. Why are you so whiny? What? Excuse you. This child. Okay. What? Look at him. Look at him. He's just sitting over there. Oh, please. Please, camera. Camera, please. Devo? What are you doing? Hey! Hey! Sir! I can distract him with a pencil. Make it seem like he's looking over here. What are you doing? Oh? What is this kid? Why is he like this? Alright, can we do these? I still don't have any iron, and this is a problem. How long do I have until that? 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, take some high quality iron. That's fine. We have lots of letters. Goodness gracious. Peeked into one of your precious books and thought it would be full of forbidden things, but it was all about the moon cycles. Why are you interested in the moon, Daddy? You can tell me. Oh, you have 2 more. Okay. I know that you keep one room locked. I know that you must be doing naughty things inside. Your other daughters are chatty, but I can keep a secret. Tell me what you do in that forbidden place all alone. I heard you talking in there, in your locked room. I know after my sisters disappear, you always spend time in there. My sisters fear you, but I understand you. You can get rid of them all, and then relax in the water with me. Cho'Gath, I'm very uncomfortable with this. When I am at home, I am never hungry, but we've read this one. Today I almost attacked a villager. He looked so tasty that I almost lost control. I know you say I shouldn't eat people, but if I'm not supposed to eat them, why are they made of meat? Good question, John McCain. Our outsides do not tell the whole story. I am a classy girl and I will only eat classy cheese. We've read this one. I try to be strong, but there are no classy people in the entire village. No one can see how special I am inside. It is so hard to be here. Can we move to the city, Papa? The people in the city must be of better quality. Please, Papa. Not Bono. I was feeling so down today, plodding along, thinking about how the heavy burden of my shell is like the heavy burden of life. We've read that one as well. Found a dark alley with tasty smells today, and I was enjoying my time alone when an angry old man started yelling at me. Although he could not hurt me and my shell, I felt scared by his voice. From now on, I will spend more time in my room at home. Oh, sweet baby. My wings finished growing today. They are still weak, but I was able to fly up onto a wall. From there, I could look into many windows. Oh, right, we've read that one too. Stop sending me letters I've read. I was strengthening my wings today, flying onto different walls, when I spotted something strange. 2 people were in bed, even though it was still daytime. Thought they were fighting, but they seemed happy. What were they doing, Daddy? I'm not having this talk with my bee daughter. I'm not. We're not doing that. Oh no. Oh no. Cho'Gath is level 4, John McCain is level 4, Ilawi is level 4, Starbuck is level 3, Ellen is level 4. Okay, so we should be able to do a murder next week, which will be great because that'll start getting all of our stats up. Hold on a second. This real fast. I just want to check the achievements real quick. A lot of these do not matter to me anymore. Okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and do a work. A work, shall we? Yeah, go do the jobs, do the work, do the things. High quality clay, sure. More clay, sure. Sadness. We need one for anger. I need a joy. You need some joy. Okay. Again, I just need... I need more homunculi. I need more affinity so we can try this infusion again. Sure, go do the work. And I get, like, having to wait between infusions, but also, can we just do it, maybe? Can we just make it happen? Consider. We just make it happen. Oh, I should probably treat Arya's body as well. I've kind of just ignored that for a little bit. Oopsies. I'm sure she's fine. She can't be that stinky, right? Joy. Get in there. Yeah. Did I not just... Whatever. Cho'Gath, you can work there for a day. You'll be fine. Fear... And it's like... I did that wrong. Oh well. It doesn't matter. We've got so much new music now. Okay, we gotta do a few murders. Sure. -35. She's at level 5, and it's not quite where I want to be, but she gotta go. I gotta make room for some other daughters. Level 6. It's fine. This is fine. We're gonna murder them all. Right? This is acceptable and fine. Lowy is at the proper level, so that's great. I would much rather them all be too full. Starbuck, why are you only level 5? We love it when hands are goop free. Great. Great. Welcome back officially, then. Okay, we're just gonna mercilessly do a murder on all of them. Alright. Everyone needs to leave me alone. I'm busy. Can't you see? I am busy. So maybe sadness needs to be the higher of the two? Because joy is 708 to 768. But sadness is 485 to 785? Anger is 372 to 672. We need one more anger. At least one more fear, because that the lowest end of that is 397. Sadness. One more sadness. Maybe one more joy. I mean, we need one of each at least. I don't know that I need to do this, like, trust meter anymore either with the villagers. Just because I think that's mostly for, like, the Inquisitor stuff. Yeah. Okay, we need 2 clay and a metal. Go on. I did 3 clay, didn't I? Fucking hell. We are also out of names. I'm just gonna name her Belinda. We'll just accept the default names at this point. Can I do this yet? I can. Good. Okay, well we have an anger, so we need... Done it again. Sadness, a clay and 2 metal. Clay and 2 metal. This one will be charity. We'll do that. We can do that. I was gonna say, if we run out of names on the list, I'll just do default names. Alright. There's charity. We'll do patience next. Anger, sadness. These... Travis, please. Fear and joy. Should we do a wood and 2 water? Wood, 2 water. That's fine. That's acceptable. Patience. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to move as fast as I can. Do we need a sadness? Is that right? Anger, sad. We need a fearful. Let's see. Meat to water. Meat to water. 2 water. And a meat. This is humility. And then Dota and Dadass will be the next ones. We'll make a Dota. Who do we need? Who should we make? Dota and Dadass. I can wait to make them then. I just want to make sure that we get enough. Oh. Okay. We want to make them at the same time, right? Dota and Dadass. Up to me? Okay. We should do... Sorry, I gotta double check everything. Joy. We still need more joy. We need 1 more sadness. 1 more anger. 1 more fear. I could probably do another sad and put him in there, and that could be Dota. Dota will be sad. We have decided. That Dota is a sad bitch. Should we make her a doll? 2 wood and a metal? I am trying to, like, make different ones each time, but it's getting a little difficult. Alright, there's Dota. Dona looks a lot like Hattress, don't you think? Hattress the First, that is. She's sad. No, don't sacrifice! I'm sorry. I meant to do this. Because you're also sad. You're fearful. Oopsies. Almonds. You're happy, so you get candy. So sorry, Fruity, not Travis. Travis is being a menace. Travis is the one being a menace right now. Fruity is kind of being a menace, but less so. Sorry. Can't help it. Y'all are wild sometimes. Give that ice cream to Charity. And here. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. Oh, yeah, let's hang out with Mud Buddy. Yeah, 100%, super well behaved all of the time, never cause problems, ever. No, I love you guys so much. Y'all are wonderful, but goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Y'all can be a lot. We can name one Chaos. That's acceptable. Okay. That's all the rooms filled, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and start. Chaos and Chaos 2. Perfect. Look at all that money. Dota said, I'm gonna work here. Chaos 2 has to be a daughter with a pneumatic flipper. So an angry daughter? Okay, never mind. I don't know. Look, we could make... She could be a mermaid. That tail is awfully powerful. It's not quite a pneumatic flipper, but close enough, right? Can I do 8 of all of these? I think I can afford that. Hell yeah, I can. I forgot to check Arya's body again. That's a bit of a problem. Whoopsies. This is fine. This is all fine. Joy. Fear. Whoops. Do I have high quality iron? I do. Sure. I should have checked to see if I have high quality meat. I do. Sent me a picture. Hold on a second. Not the robots. Not the robots. Chaos 2, very good. Chaos 2, very good. I love Chaos 2. Facts, though. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we can name her, or we can make a mermaid for Chaos 2. We got a tail that could, you know, be like a pneumatic flipper. That's acceptable, right? I need a fearful, please. I'm clicking on that. Excuse me. I would like Oh no. I will watch that after stream. I'm very excited to see Chaos 2 flipping people, though. Well, robots. Flipping robots. It's fine. Can we get Belinda in there? And Charity back in there. Perfect. Beautiful. I remember, like, seeing a lot of it on TV when I was really young. I say really young, anywhere between the ages of, like, 5 and 11. That whole time period for me was very much a blur. But yeah, I can't say, like, I remember a ton about it, but I do remember, like, liking the robots. And being like, this is neat. Some of the villagers do not like me. They call me dirty behind my back, but not far enough away so that I cannot hear them. They want to make me feel bad, but I do not care about them. I only care for me, Dad. When I walk to work, I always make sure to walk across as many doorsteps as I can. I know it makes the villagers angry, and I love it. You should see their faces, Dad. Seeing them is the best part of my day. Linda. I want to play with you again. Throwing things is fun, and I can lift bigger stones than anyone else. I want to smash more little targets flat. Can you build me more? Getting lots of new letters. I like playing better than working. Although I can work for hours without stopping, it is not as fun as throwing things. Maybe you can find a job for me that involves throwing? Feels good to be strong. Oh, Charity. I like how you said I make you think of spring. Everything is fresh and new in spring, and I can feel life is full of promise. I look forward to working hard to make our beautiful summer. Thank you for telling me about your daughter. I know you feel like your life is in winter now, but for me, I feel like summer is here. I hope we can spend many more days together, and I can share my feelings of sunny days with you. All these sweet children. Got lucky. I am your smartest girl because I have more than one brain. I am independent and I do not need my sisters. All of my friends are already on my head. I do not need you either, and I only do what you ask so that I can stay here. Thanks, humility. Nice to know you're living up to your namesake. It's funny that you always try to tell me what to do. My way is the best way. I am tired of how we always debate endlessly. Only one of my lovely snakes speaks well of you anymore. I do not know why it does it. Are you really my father? Why do you look so different than me? Why is your skin soft when mine is hard? Why was I born into this world? Why, father? Why? Why is my appearance like those toys in the toy store? Why do I have to do all of this? Why should I work for you? Why, father? Why? Dota, you are asking way too many questions. Listen here, you little shit. What do you want? Yeah, you can have Dota! Do I give Dota over for 1,000 gold? Or do we do a murder on Dota? I don't really need the money is the thing. I mean, facts. I mean, I would agree that that's worth more than Dota's worth. Or that's more money than Dota is worth. And I kind of need her sadness, so sorry, but I need her. Only so I can do a murder on her. Wait, why is it all... It's because she's stinky. That's why it's all... That's why the music was all scary. I see! I understand. Not me just doing it very bad in here. Let's do one more week of work. And then we'll do a murder on all of them. And we'll start with Dota. Okay? Sound good? We happy with that? Oh, they're all just taking the initiative. Good on you, daughters. That was all of them. Beautiful. You love to see it. Let's fill back up on supplies. Can we... Buy a couple of everything. Great. It was Stinky Daughter music. Now we know. I kind of liked Stinky Daughter music, though. Like, real talk. It was good. Kind of a bop, honestly. If we could listen to it again. The Stinky Daughter bop. If we could listen to it again, that'd be cool. Love that. Yeah, go work. Yeah, go work. Oops. Who is not working? Patience. Get in there. I have fear and sadness. Fear. She's not gonna like it, but she has to work in there. It is decided. And then Patience can do that again. Charity can do that again. Great. Stink Bop is the genre 6-foot smell limit play? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry, it's Christmas now? What is happening? Yeah, you can have that. That's fine. Was there something passing outside the window? Oh my god, everyone leave me alone. Sure, take it. I don't care. I wanted to see what was making that noise. It's Santa Claus. It's just Santa. Let's go ahead and treat. It is just around the corner. Alright. We gotta do a murder on everyone at this point. Do a kill. Goodbye, Belinda. Get out of here, ma'ams. Great. Charity is only level 6. I am over these fucking sounds. No more bells. No more bells. The sound of the bells encourages me to get all of this done much faster. Let's make it happen. Okay. I think if we have every affinity in its own hundreds section, it should be fine. Do it. Make it happen. No one's stopping you but you. It happens. Okay, this should be... I hate this noise. I need the bells to stop, please and thank you. Game, if you could not play them every 10 seconds, that would be great. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have... Should we put sadness in the 700s or in the 600s? Probably in the 700s since it's so high. Which, hold on. Please. I have to sneeze. I have to sneeze. This is rude! Okay, let's burn a couple of things with sadness. What is that? 970? for sadness. So let's burn a bowl of ice cream to get that down to 770. Great. Sadness is where it needs to be. It's a little on the high end, but that's fine. We'll take joy down to 600. What is it at? 885. 685. Fear is at 585, which I guess would be fine. It's in the 500s. And then get anger down to the 400s? Do you think that works? It's not quite 100 between sadness and joy, but it's close. I kind of want to drop that down one more, though. No! Fuck! Joy is fucked! I have fucked this. I have done this bad. What happens if I leave now? What if I leave now and come back? Has my stuff saved? Oh, I did that bad. Joy has to be in the 700s, and that's frustrating. Hold on. It's fine. It has reset it. We're good. Okay. Let's... This is unfortunate, though. Hold on. That is true, and I think we have to for joy. Because it needs to... Joy has to be between 708 and 768. And even if I burn the, like, the smaller gift... I think we have to make a burner daughter. For joy. I need to see what I need to make for joy. Hold on. 2 wood and a water. Do we have high quality water? And then do it like this. It's a level 5. That's fine. And then we'll just do a quick kill. Welcome to the world, Eve. Now you're dead. Burner daughters are important. Okay, that puts her there. Sure, take some mid-quality water. It's fine. Okay, what does that put this at? 1,000. So if I do... That's still a bit of an issue, isn't it? Because I could bring her down to 800. Or 700, but that's still not quite where it needs to be. Game, please. Can I burn this? That brought them all down by 25. That's acceptable. Except it's not! Hold on. No, it's fine. We'll do one more of those. I also didn't expect there to be this much math. It's fine. Joy is where it needs to be. Sadness needs to be in the 600s. So 200 for ice cream. And another 100 with a smaller ice cream. That's 620. That's where it needs to be. It's in its range. 485 to 785 is the sadness range. Anger needs to be between 372 and 672. What if we take it down to 500? Or do the rest of these matter as much? Fear is where it needs to be, as long as there's one that's, like, dominant. Which would be joy. I'm so scared. I don't want this to be a waste. You know? Hmm. 535. Let's burn some chocolate. That gets anger like in the middle of where it needs to be, between 372 and 672. It's not quite the middle, but it's close enough. Fear is also within its range, so I kind of just want to leave it there. Let's burn a small thing of almonds. That gets that in the 400s. 750 for joy. 620 for sadness. 540 for anger. 435 for fear. Those are all in the range that they need to be in. This is also going to be like the last one that we do for today because it's almost time for us to end stream. I am concerned. Let's just do it. Let's try. Please don't fail. I mean, if you fail, that's fine, but don't fail in a way that we failed already. I would like to narrow down our affinities a little bit more. Preferably. Consider... Well, she's brought alive, she rolls on the floor laughing. We've done that one already. Another similar result. I think I should raise her soul with a different dominant affinity. So I need sadness to be higher. Hold on. What if I exit? And come back again? It saved, didn't it? I just want to check. I just want to check. Okay. At that point, it's like, let me know that sadness has to be the higher. Narrow this down a little bit more, okay? Okay. This, I think, I just realized that there is this diagram here. This tells me what each level of homunculi gives me for an affinity. Which is good to know, but also consider game. Okay, so we need sadness on the high end of things, right? And joy on the low end. So if we can get... I'm gonna write this down real fast. Let's do... 2 joys. Maybe. What would be the best combination of homunculi to get us kind of where we need to go without having to do a bunch of math? Does it matter? What if we... I am going to write down that we need sadness pretty high, though. Do you think we got it? Well, we can't. Well, it is still... I don't care about that. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna call it here and we'll figure this out on Wednesday. And maybe, hopefully, be done? Hopefully, maybe be done? Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I wish the ranges on the sadness was a little less wild, compared to what it is, but it isn't, and that's fine. We'll figure it out. We've got this. Hi, Llama! Lamia has woken up from her nap. Anywho, that's all I got for today. That's all we'll do here for now. But we got more, what's it, this evening? In Sound Mind this evening, so I'll be back in a bit to do some of that. But until then, we're gonna call it here. Got a few people online. Y'all cool with hanging out with Cyril? Y'all wanna go raid Cyril? Cyril's doing some Paper Mario. And we love Cyril. And I guess we love Paper Mario. We can do that. Alright. There are our raid messages. If you want to participate in the raid that we're going to go do on our friend, Hit Save Cyril. Let's get that set up. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't got much else to say. Much else to do. Just thanks for being here. As always, I appreciate it. Like hanging out with y'all. But yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll see you later. I hope that for those of you who were having a rough morning, you have a better morning. That things get to be a little easier for you. But until next time, we'll see y'all later. Goodbye.